So once with that basis, the next thing we have to understand is karma. And so we can take a look at one of Jesus' famous sayings, which is, as you sow, so shall you reap, which means the things that you plant is what you will receive. But he's saying it not in a farming sense, he's saying it in a what you do, that's what you're going to get back. What you do in life, you're going to get it back. So when I'm born into a Christian family, that's like, if I'm getting closer to the truth, I'm receiving something like really important, like more than a material thing. I'm receiving, this great gift spiritually. And what did I do to receive that? I had to have done something before to receive that. God didn't just say, nonchalantly, just like, here, you get to be born in this family, you get to be born in this family. It's due to our own past deeds. It's due to our own past lives, where we end up, where we're born. People are born into horrible, suffering situations where they gotta starve, at the age, like from when they're born, and starve to death by the time they're 5. God didn't just do that to that person. They've had activities in the past to then reap that. That's a result. They're receiving something. They're receiving negative, that's not something that's desirable, but they're receiving that. And someone else is receiving lots of wealth or lots of knowledge. They're born in a good family. They don't have to worry about food, all those kinds of things. Those are all, you're receiving something. So you had to have done something to receive that according to this teaching of Jesus. At the time of Jesus, there's a couple instances where we have evidence that people at the time accepted reincarnation. People asked when Jesus healed this blind man, he was asked if this man, who was blind from birth, if this man was blind because of his own deeds or because of his parents' deeds. And so it has to be understood that for him to be blind for his own deeds, they must have accepted that before he was born, he had to have been doing something, right? So he existed prior to his birth. We all exist prior to our birth, which is also part of the last video, understanding that you're eternal. As a tiny little piece of God who is eternal, our spirit is also eternal. Our bodies are temporary. And Jesus said that in this instance, it was due to God's direct interference that this person was blind so that Jesus could come and heal him. So it wasn't due to either the past activities in this particular instance, which is a rare occurrence that God, would intervene and give someone blindness so that Jesus could come and heal them. Another instance that we can understand that people had this idea of reincarnation is that people were asked Jesus, or Jesus asked his disciples, who do people say that I am? And the disciples said, they think you are Moses, or they say you're Elias, which is the prophet that my parents named me after. But they were answering the question, who do people say that I am? They took it to mean, who was I in a previous life? Or maybe it was John the Baptist, in all honesty. But regardless, they were taking it to be someone else was now Jesus. And there were also people in the early church of Christianity that were teaching reincarnation, and the teaching was eventually dropped, and I'll get to that later in the video.